I was gonna say day 77, but look, my top has just broke, and luckily we were just about to go out. But day 77, we are here. Tim is chilling with his plants.
Tim is waiting. I'm waiting. I'm not chilling, I'm waiting.
I was waiting for him. And look, can you spot anything? Look at the cats. Yeah, it's a really nice space here outside, inside as well, really, really nice. I do need to get my new top. But yeah, we are off to, actually I don't know, Tim has done all the planning for this one. Where are we going?
I think we're going to try and discover a little bit of colonial history in the old town.
We're going to have a little wander. Come and join us.
While Sarah does her quick change, I'm going to try my memory strength challenge. So, Ipoh. Ipoh is Malaysia's 4th largest city, and it's not the first one that comes to mind when you think of Malaysia, but for me, I am familiar with it. My aunt, she was born and she grew up here. Her grandparents were brought here as indentured labour from China in the British colonial times to work in the tin mines, and this is the reason for the town being here. Massive deposits were found in the 1880s, and as a result it fueled growth, and as of 2021 it had a population of 840,000. It's the capital of the Perak region and lies on the Kinta River. It's 200 kilometres north of Kuala Lumpur and 150 southeast of Georgetown, so it's a central transportation hub. This growth continued until the 1970s, when the tin industry collapsed and there was massive outward migration, perhaps to Kuala Lumpur, which was seeing growth at this time. More recently though, the fortunes of the town have been turned around due to the tourism, and this tourist industry has been based on the preservation and the presentation of the British colonial era architecture, much like Georgetown, so a mixed blessing. I'm looking forward to getting out there and exploring the old town, which hopefully we'll be doing any moment now.
Quick change and we're off. That was lucky. Running across this road, me and Tim keep on getting to a section of the road, looking left and right, and actually it's one long big one-way system. It reminds me of New York, so yeah, we just need to know what direction it is and look that way. We don't need to keep on doing this like we're watching a tennis match. If you know me by now, you're gonna know that I love rattan, wood, and mangoes. I mean, this is a good stick, look at it. About 19 ringgits. £3.50 maybe? Oh, and I need one of these for the mozzies. It's like Tim's parting the Red Sea. Okay, let me try this time. Hopefully. La la, la la.
That would definitely get you a fine in Trafalgar Square, wouldn't it?
So it feels like we're back in Georgetown. is going to be spotting the street art today, I think.
We've made our way west of the Kinta River over into Old Town, and as you'd expect, it has a distinctly different feel. Over here, beautiful colonial architecture all around, and both sides of the river seem like a maze of one-way streets, quite large, and you definitely have to have a lot of local knowledge to navigate them.
I didn't realise, I just thought it was a very pretty building, but this building was the headquarters back in the day that dealt with all the business from the tin industry. So yeah, there's my knowledge for you. Oh, and we are going, there is a heritage trail, so we're going to look for that as well. I think it's literally around the corner, so yes, trail, here we come. Get some shade. So here, their rotis are slightly different. It's a piece of bread. They have it all the way down.
That's not a roti, that's a piece of toast.
Yeah, well, they call it roti. This one has panda, I think I'm saying it right, panda, and kaya. And I did order an egg, but it was still really, really runny. So I've asked them just to like blitz it in the microwave. Bless the lady. I think the egg comes quite raw. Oh, be careful. And it just like falls in. However, I did make her life a little bit harder because she's not used to my request, so it just kept on leaking everywhere. So that little snack came to about 14 ringgits because we had 2 coffee teas as well, and I would like to say that I really enjoyed that. But I enjoyed the coffee tea, but I think it was because it was sweet, and it was quite sweet. But yeah, it was a piece of bread. The egg wasn't cooked, and yeah, I prefer my cake slightly cooked than it was. But I did enjoy the panda and the kaya, maybe because it's sweet, and I just like everything that's sweet.
Behind me, I have stumbled upon the Birch Memorial Tower, and it's set within what feels like a British town square. I do like to see that, and I also like to see these stone megaliths. I'll give it delusions of grandeur, which are dotted all throughout the Heritage Trail, and they're pointing out the different buildings of interest. And this one is dedicated to James Birch, who was the first British resident of Ipoh, and he was a deeply unpopular man. So maybe it's well, no, it's probably not surprising because he probably built it himself. But he's got a memorial. But also, in an ironical twist of fate, let's say, the man who ended up murdering him, who was a local, has had the street behind me named after him. So the two remain hand in hand, tied forever. And it's great, these crib sheets. I really like them. So they are a little bit flawed, though. It says there are 4 statues at each corner displaying the cardinal virtues of British rule, but they've only actually listed 3. But I like them, so I'm going to go through them. The first is loyalty with the sword and shield, justice, blind and carrying a sword, and a pair of scales, patience, unarmed and with fortitude, with a calm face and bearing a spear. And then the friezes on the side, they represent 44 famous figures in world history, enlightened souls in the eyes of the British Empire. So yeah, I really like this, it's great. And over here, you can see another administrative building. I'm not sure what it is, I'm going to walk over there in a second, but you can see they're renovating and restoring it. And this is part of their drive to become a major tourist centre, which I think they kind of are already, but it's great to see them looking after these masterpieces.
Nice to sit in the shade. Thanks, tower. I just wanted to check I was pronouncing it right, and I was like, I'm sure it's not panda. I know what I do. I pick 2 letters and then I run with it. But it's called a pandan, Pandan. And I was wondering, what's the difference between pandan and kaya? And actually, they're a similar thing. They're a rich coconut jam, and it's from the pandanus leaf. They also call it a screw pine. And when we were with Joy the other day, it was the first time I heard what a screw pine was, and she said it and I was like, what's that? And actually it's another word for the pandanus plant. So yeah, I'm educating myself. They're similar. The kaya maybe has a little bit more sugar, where it's a more caramel color, and then the pure pandan is a little bit light green, or they call it the nonya pandan. So kaya, pandan, screw pine, pandanus, all the same. A coconut jam, but very yummy, very yummy. Hi there. I was slyly doing that. Did you see that guy who was using a typewriter? He is still hardcore. I think we need to bring the typewriter back. They were cool. They're time consuming, but hey, where are we? Are we in a rush to go anywhere? No. Let's get the typewriter back. Typewriter back. Typewriter back. Oh, how do we cross this road now? It seems busy. We made it across, but typically as soon as you cross, it's kind of empty. So at first I thought this might be a hotel, because you can see lots of people with their luggage waiting outside for a car to pick them up, but Tim informs me it's a railway station. Shall we go inside to see what it fits? Was it always a railway station? Or did they turn it into one?
Behind me, it's the railway station. It's again, it's British colonial Raj style, so it has Moorish domes and turrets, but also that neoclassical style. It's still a functional building. It looks amazing from the outside. It's a little bit more bland inside, if I'm honest, but to be expected. There are still people coming and going. It was started to be built in 1914 and was completed in 1917. Due to the war, I think it took a little bit longer than expected, but it cemented Ipoh as a travel hub. And then behind me we have the town hall. So this says on the side 1914 is the date. It was done by the same architect, built them both, and a really impressive building. And really that angle doesn't give you an insight into how deep that building is. It's massive, but yeah, it's I love it. Yeah, I do love it. I love this style of architecture.
I'm sure Pauline will probably remember this sort of station if she grew up here.
I'm beginning to burn, so I need to do this quickly. But behind me, a memorial for the war dead of World Wars I and II, a staple of every British village and town. But I also like to see there's a plaque been added to memorialise Death Railway as it was known, a railway connecting to Burma that the Japanese built during World War II, and 250,000 people were forced to build the railway, and it seems that around 81,000 Allied POWs, around 80,000 Asian labourers and 12,600 Allied POWs died during its construction. Yeah, crazy debt to pay.
So these water fountains go right round the memorial and that centre point there where it says Ipoh. I want them to turn it on now, not to have a shower, but just to see. I'm sure it's pretty impressive. And there were some kids over there, I think they were wanting to turn on too.
So it's the courthouse. It was completed in 1928 and used as the High Court. It was then during Japanese occupation, it was presided over by a Japanese judge, Kozaka-san, and he was noted for his impartiality and open-mindedness on the bench. It was said that these were qualities largely attributed to his Western legal training. Of course they were. However, he could not always avoid the influence of the Japanese public prosecutor. Okay, they remember him in a positive light at least. Not bad for an occupying judge, I guess. So like a bit of a mini Regent Street maybe, with the grand white neoclassical buildings, and it's the financial centre. All the banks from the colonial times, so China, India, the UK, Australia, and just down from the courthouses. So they like to have all these administrative centres right next to each other, and this definitely was the seat of power back in colonial times. I think now we're going to try and head into the lower rise section of Old Town, and maybe that's where the murals and the more artsy scene is to be found.
It's lunchtime and the chicken satay is on way radar. See the wicker. I want to make one of these. We need to go to a place that teaches you how to weave. That one. Sorry. Durian? Yeah. Okay, maybe you know. And this is lepina. Yeah, lepin.
Lấy pin tao.
So I'm going to try one of these mango popsicle. This one here, I thought it was chocolate, but it's a not chocolate. It's a cookie bean, red bean. Tim wants one of those. So yeah, it's a mango flavoured popsicle. Really refreshing. They did have a durian one. Still, we're not that courageous with trying durian even in an ice cream. So we've come back to this corner to see why it's so busy, and I realised it's the start of Concubine Lane.
You ready to go and get your picture? I think we're going to have to queue.
I think we do.
We've queued up, let's go for it. There we go.
Concubine Lane.
What was it?
Concubine Lane. I have to read it. Alright. We have one of those fun art galleries here again. Maybe I'll go do my fitness, my workout, run around.
Found ourselves in the art district, all up and down this road, painters selling their wares. And behind us,
And
the Funtasy art gallery. Are we going to go?
we don't know yet. It's 15 ringgits, which is £2 odd. But it reminds me of Georgetown. It's got all the murals, the old buildings. It's fun to explore. And food hunt, like the taxi driver said yesterday. I think these walkways are a genius idea. Look, just protects you from the sun. You can still go along the street, but you don't have to die with the heat. I'm feeling it. We're looking for a 7-Eleven. We need some water. Oh, there it is. Found it. So we are here in Funtasy House. We're ready for our workout.
Yeah, and I have high expectations. I had really low last time, but now, let's see. Probably like to be disappointed.
It's definitely not as big as the one we had, but yeah, interesting.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
School go error straight away. Forgot to take our shoes off, even though it says no shoes, no drink. So I was looking at the Malaysian price. The tourist price is 25, but oh, all right. What have we got here? Some eggs. Yeah, that's good. Bam in the face. Ooh, that's a bit freaky. Now I know what everyone feels when they look at me. What's up? Okay, this is normal. Tim, go that side. Okay, I'm getting eaten by a frog. So this one, they haven't considered people with long hair. Tim, you would be fine. Does this work?
Yeah. go.
Double. I turned my back for a second and Tim had found himself a new girlfriend, wife.
Yeah, one that's not going to take me shopping for tripods in malls every day.
Oh, I mean, look at her. She says tech all over her. Plucking him out. No, what do I say?
Pulling the rabbit out of the hat, isn't it?
I'm pulling the Timmy out of the hat.
There we go. So I can't leave somewhere without making an idiot out of myself. So I was like, oh, where are the toilets? And they're like, yeah, they're in there. Yeah, I thought they were part of the display. I don't know how to do it. I think we were the only people in that museum for the entirety of our stay. So we got to play and have a bit of a mess around. It was okay. It wasn't as impressive as the other one over in...
Penang Hill?
No, it wasn't Penang Hill. It was the other mountain.
Langkawi
Skywalk.
Skywalk.
Skywalk. But it was a lot of fun and it got us out of the heat as well. It was nicely air conditioned and I can't leave these places without making a fool of myself.
More street art. Oh look! We used to have one of these in our family. I never managed to drive it. My brother, my mum and dad did. But yeah, look how cool. Oh, what's this? Ah, look. Super Mario Kart-ish. Oh, you know I'm gonna have to do this.
So that's kind of funny. I stopped here to take a photo of this just because it interested me, and then a group of people stopped and started queuing up to take a photo as well, and then I think they looked at it and thought, why are you taking a picture of that? I took a picture anyway, but yeah.
Umbrella Street,
Yeah, it feels like they've gone for a similar kind of approach between here and Georgetown.
Yeah.
I think in Georgetown maybe you can feel it, it's packed in a little bit more.
Smaller.
It's more hustly and bustly. But it's good here. It has a different feel though. It's more spread out and it's definitely quieter here for sure.
But we didn't need to go to the museum. They have all the street art here. Look, come, follow me.
And I think I've twisted my neck trying head swipes after not having done anything for the past 7 years.
I mean, this was like us when we tried to get away from that pack of dogs in Koh Chang. I mean, with the rubbish. I'm hungry. Look at that art. I like that one.
Okay, should we have a look then?
So again, I don't know what we've ordered. We came in, we've asked, they said, oh, how about drumstick? And we were like, okay. So we are going to just see what happens when it turns up.
But there is one of the plaques outside this building, so apparently they're very old coffee shops, and above, the actors for the National Ballet or Theatre Company used to live above the accommodation, so building with a bit of age, and let's hope it's got that authenticity.
Yeah. And they call these coffee shops. It sounds weird because you think it's like in the UK we have coffee shops. But yeah, these sort of places. Shane is saying they're called coffee shops. So we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Should we pay you now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Level 17.
17. So this is drumstick.
Drumstick roast pork.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Chicken and char siu.
Thank you.
You're the chef.
Yeah.
So this is 8 ringgit, which is about £1.20. And
I
it's really
think mine
tasty.
was a bit cheaper at 7 ringgit. It's really good though. The rice is it's kind of salty and rich, and it's got like a garlic sauce with it. And the meat is really tender and succulent.
I mean, this is really tasty.
So yeah, this feels like one of the really authentic places. The food is simple, but it's really, really good. Your pork is beautiful. It's like sweet barbecue. Mine's like a garlicky kind of chicken. Yeah, very, very good. And looks simple. It looks simple, the whole place. It's very basic, and it's something that you maybe kind of avoid going to because of the look being a Westerner. But I would say definitely these places, when you find them, go and check them out.
Tasty.
I'm still feeling a bit hungry. Sarah's headed back to get another char siu pork. It's so, so good. It's beautifully sweet and barbecued.
We've gone for seconds, getting 2 rows of char siu and 1 rice.
Okay. Thank you very much. It was great. So now, okay, reasonable, really, really good. So yeah, now the 20-minute walk in the baking sun back to the restaurant. We've been out for quite a while. What? Wow, it's 2:30, so we've been out, what, 5 hours?
Yeah, but that was tasty. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I needed that. I really did. But yeah, what a great spot. And here's the plaque to prove it. There we go.
Yeah, so here they're called coffee shops. I think these are kind of like sweet potato mochi type balls, or they might be the mochi balls there, but so we'll try them out. These are like a mochi ball, but not. They're thinner, and they're like deep fried glutinous rice treats. Yeah, it's good and a bit warm as well.